this year, I am in my 84th year. Barbara is right behind. And I think after a time, you don't worry, count the days. She's 80 this year. But that is only half the story. Between us, we have produced 3 picnics. And between them, they have produced 6 picnics. And here comes the story now, the real story. Every one of our 3 have trusted the Lord Jesus and have moved on. Our second daughter, Nikki, moved recently from San Antonio to California. She's not in search of money. She's not in search of any great anything, except that her time at California at the Texas University in San Antonio, she made it her duty to look out for young people who needed a push or a help to get on with their university work. And when she left after about 7 years, I think it is, they gave her a write-up of no ordinary proportion. And this is why she left. She felt the Lord was calling her to California to repeat what she has done at San Antonio. Look out for young people, particularly Negroes, who needed a little help. And that's what she's there to do. Dale Ann, the first, she has spent her life raising 2 children. And between the 3 of us, the 3 couples, we can actually, there's another one, wasn't he? There's one named Conway. Anybody about here know him? All right, so I don't have to say much about him. But the Lord has used that brother in significant, very significant ways. He went to Campion College, and one of his, what you call it? The economics teacher. He stood up in the economics teacher class and said to him, "Sir, how foolishness you're talking." Well, the teacher didn't have much more to say except, "Follow me to the principal's office." And he followed him to the principal's office, and the principal gave him a note and said, "Whichever class you're attending, make sure you hand this note to the teacher and get it back, because I want you to bring the note to me. Now he's got, 4 churches in Dallas. And he has been trying for years to get our young people from Jamaica up in a weekend session with an organization by the name of Clyde. And a couple of people from Galilee have been, and they can tell you all about that. And the other day, we've got 2 grandchildren to make up the 6. And they are very young. Joe is 8. And on Monday nights, we have a little interaction with them. And Joe made us understand this past Monday that he is getting ready for baptism. And we said, what? He said, yes. And we explained to him, like, listen, it's a serious step you're taking. In fact, you cannot be baptized before you're born again. You have to be born again. And he reminded us, yes, he is born again. We led him to the Lord a couple of weeks before, at 8. All right, I've taken the opportunity to go all that way to say to you, I believe your elders are very concerned for some of you. You come to Galilee, you raise your hallelujahs, and your children are heading in the other direction. Anybody want to confess? It's not a joke, it's a serious thing. We can say to you today that, it is some words from Joshua. You can do what you want, he said to the people of Israel. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And your elders are concerned that not many of you can say that. And that's why they've asked me to come talk to you. Time is running out. The Lord Jesus is about to return. It may be morn, it may be evening, it may be night. We don't know. But what we know is that the end is near. And there is evidence. For in the last days, Paul writing to Timothy, said perilous times will come. Men will be lovers of themselves more than lovers of God. They will be concerned for their own selves, with little concern for anybody else, including their parents. And if you care for your children, I don't know how you're going to do it, You are headed for heaven, and they are headed for the other end of the scale. Hell. And there's a thing I know about Jamaicans. When I talk with them, some of them say, it's all right, I will go to hell. I am a Jamaican. And what I will do is help Satan push the fire. Well, listen, I don't know. Wherever else you can help push anything else, you are not going to get the opportunity to push any fire in hell. And I can tell you why. Because Satan himself will be in the fire. Right? So you're not going to get any chance to sweet talk Satan out of it. Him can't help you. For he is going to be in the middle of it. All right. You know the background I'm trying to use to say these things to you. And so I'm going to ask you to turn and let's read some words out of Timothy, 2 Timothy. I hear you have I'm supposed to talk for no more than 20 minutes. Is that it? 20 minutes. You must talk to me, or go on with you. Timothy, 2 Timothy, chapter 1. And verse 5. Here Paul to Timothy. I remember your genuine faith, for you share the faith that first filled your grandmother Lloyd and your mother Eunice. And I know that same faith continues strong in you. This little guy named Timothy. All we read about his father is that he was Greek. He came from Greece. But between his grandmother and his mother, they spent time and effort shaping the life of this young man. And then Paul came on board. And he helped him. And towards the end, he could say, I know that faith that you are now demonstrating came from your grandmother and your mother, who spent all the time hammering it home to you. And my friends, for those of you who are among those who are here, but your children is elsewhere, you have, maybe they're too far gone, I don't know, but it is your responsibility to first talk to the Lord about your children. No, it's nice and all right for you to be giving effort to reaching others for Jesus. But how could you do it and ignore the salvation of your children? Please, give effort. And it begins with setting aside some time day by day to say to the Lord in no uncertain manner, Lord, please save him. Lord, please save her. Please, Lord, save her. For if you don't, they're heading the other way. You should be able to say, like Joshua, to all the people in your community, it's all right. You can have a ball. But you see, me and my household, we are bound for heaven. I notice there are fewer and fewer responses, but that's all right. My job is to tell you how this thing go. All right, so that was Timothy. Here's a second person. Well, his name was Job. Job had 7 sons and 3 daughters. And Job was a wealthy man. He had a whole heap of material things. But in the midst of his wealth, God, the Almighty, shared his confidence. Job was so serious about his young men and their sisters that, okay, he had animals and so on that they could sacrifice, they could have parties and so on. But he was concerned, and so concerned was he, that after they partied, he got some animals and sacrificed them to the Lord. To what end? Just in case his sons and daughters did anything or said anything during those partying days that was contrary to the mind of God. He covered his children. And I'd like to say to you, you need to cover your children. You need to cover them. In fact, from they were little, and just in case you have any little ones going on, you need to pull them aside before they leave you in the morning and pray over them. Ask the Lord to guard and guide and keep them safe. Not from the wicked motorbike man and the taxi man them. You just want him to save them and to keep them close to himself. Job did that. And then, of course, there was Joshua. Joshua led the children of Israel for years. He was a great leader. And God blessed him. And Joshua, in his parting remarks to the children of Israel, I am going, and I am leaving you in the care of God. And I am saying to you, I am going, and my children are going to follow me. We're going to be with God. I would like to be assured that when I'm gone, you will continue to serve the Lord. For me and my children, my household, which would include the servants and so on, me and my household, as far as we are concerned, there's no other God but the eternal God. And we are going to serve him until he comes or until he takes us home. What about you? And I don't, my wife don't like to hear me say that. Please, I am begging you, Galilee, take care of your home. Watch over them. Pray with them before they leave. Pray after they leave. And pray until they come back safe. And pray them into the eternal kingdom of our God. Lord bless you.